of 2024 was Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. Now, I saw so many amazing things about this book. Every video I saw was praising how good this book was, like 5 stars, best horror book I've ever read. And I struggled to get through it. Now, I just want to talk about this book as a whole separate video because it's one of the worst books I've read. And I don't know if that's me just being harsh, because I want to know everybody's perspective on this book if you've read it. I just didn't get scared by this book. And now everybody's saying, oh my god, it was so creepy, the imagery was terrifying. And some of it was, but I've been more scared by non-horror books. And this was supposed to be a horror. So I'm going to do the first half of this video with no spoilers, and then I'm going to split it off to talk about everything else that doesn't make sense with spoilers. So I'm going to start off, if you haven't read this book, give you a little overview of the book and why I thought it was bad, and then I'll go in deeper with spoilers as to why I thought it was bad. So early on in the book, we learn, literally from the first page, we learn about Other Mommy. Now, Other Mommy is this entity which is seen by this 8-year-old girl, comes into her room at night and asks if she can go inside her heart. And obviously, as an 8-year-old, you don't know what that means. So we're also, as readers, trying to figure out what that means. Until like halfway through, we don't really know what it means, and we're just kind of guessing. The book is told from the perspective of an 8-year-old. Now, if you've read this book, you would think it's being told from the perspective of a 5-year-old, because some of the wording is just difficult to read. Like, there's no speech marks through the entire book. She refers to the dad as Daddo the entire time as well. It was just not, like, it was just complicated to read, and I wasn't enjoying it. The characters are the little girl called Bella. You've got the mom and you've got the dad and you've got the grandma. The mom and the dad and the girl all live together, and the mom and dad are having some sort of issues which are later revealed. Now, the main reason I nearly put this book down was because of the mom. The mom, through every single interaction they have with her, is just stupid. It's one way to put it. Like, they'll suggest something and she'll be like, no. Like, she was so infuriating all the way through. I genuinely nearly put the book down because of it. Now, I rated this book 2 stars. I was going to rate it 1 star, but there were points in the book where it was creepy. Some of the imagery used with Other Mommy was weird and did make me feel a bit ugh. But that was it. So I gave this book 2 stars. I just didn't enjoy it. The ending was awful. It felt like the entire book was a waste of time and just wasn't necessary. There was so many things that were unanswered. There was so many, like, what is this? Like, what is this Other Mommy? Why can other people see her? You know, it was just, it wasn't a satisfying ending, and it just felt like they completely disregarded everything from the start of the book. Completely. Very strange, very, very, very weird ending. But yeah, the main reasons as to why I didn't enjoy this book was the mom and her dialogue, the child and her dialogue, the ending, and the fact it wasn't scary at all. You know, when you're reading something and you're like, I should be getting creeped out by this, but I'm just not. And then you're like, how low is the standard for horror books where people think this is genuinely creepy? Because I read, oh my god, what was it called? We Used to Live Here. And I wasn't expecting to be, that was the first horror book I've read. And I was not expecting to feel anything because I watch a lot of horror movies, like it's my favourite thing to do. So I read that thinking nothing of it, and that freaked me out. This didn't. There was no point in this book where I thought, oh my god, this is genuinely creeping me out. So yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I would love to know your thoughts on this book if you've read it, or if you see this video and then read it, come back and share your thoughts. I would love to know. But there were so many good reviews on this book. It was literally the one thing. I got my Kindle for Christmas and it was the first book I bought on it because I was so excited to read it, and I was so let down. The next part of the video will be spoilers. Not major spoilers because nothing happens in the book. But there'll just be like a few things that I want to mention that I thought was a bit strange. So if you do want to carry on watching this, carry on. If you don't want anything to be ruined for you at all with this book, click out now. Here's your chance. So yeah, the main thing, what is with the monologues when the child is pretending to be asleep? I feel like that was part of the book so that the author didn't have to go into explaining the backstory without giving a massive speech, if that makes sense. I feel like he just did it to get to the point of just coming out with it straight away. So the child, who was 8, pretending to be asleep. This happened multiple times throughout the book. And I will say, when the massive one with the mom talking to the kid on the bed, I knew that wasn't the mom as soon as it started to go on for too long. I was like, there's no way this is the mom talking. And that was the only point in the book I thought, yeah, no, that's pretty good. Only thing. But overall, I just thought that was a bit unnecessary, like the other dialogues with the kid asleep, because who does that? Maybe people do that, I don't know. I thought it was very strange. But next point. The end. I hate to say I saw it coming, but why? Why did, through the entire of the book, the child was like, no, you're not going inside my heart. And then the last page, she's like, yeah, go on then. It's fine. And I know she was trying to probably like help her parents because the parents could see the other mommy. But she said no throughout the entirety of the book and then said yes. So it makes this irrelevant. They went through all that for literally no reason. It just felt lacking in everything. I don't know. I just thought it was a waste of time. And I got to the end and I was like, oh, is that it? Like, I don't know what people saw in this book. And looking through Goodreads and reading all the bad reviews, I'm like, oh my god, people think the exact same as me. Like, thank God for that. And then you've got people rating it 5 stars, being like, oh my god, I love this book. Oh my god, this is the best horror book. Where? Please show me where. I feel like there have been points that I've completely missed because I had so many ideas in my head of what I wanted to talk about, and as soon as I start filming, it all completely just disappears. And it's currently the 13th of January and I can't really remember the book. I just remember the points that I've mentioned. But yeah, the main issue for me, I started the book and I thought there was a problem with my Kindle because there was no speech marks. And I was like, is this how it's supposed to be? But yeah, there's no speech marks throughout the entire book. Which I get, but also if I'm not focusing on who's talking, it got really confusing, and I had to like backtrack to figure out who was saying what at points. And yeah, just overall didn't enjoy it. It's not the worst book I've read, because again, the imagery with the other mom was there and I could visualize it. Like the whole thing about it being hairy was a bit icky, but the rest of the story was just a complete letdown for me. But I've read worse. That's the only good thing I'll say about the book. I have read worse. But no, that is all for today's video. It's probably been a short one, can't really tell. Please let me know what you think or thought of this book in the comments, or if you're going to read it. I would love to know your opinions on it. But yeah, that is all for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.